Hey guys, Jess and Jay here from Tin Can Creative, and today is really exciting because we're going to share some things from our first year of living on the road.
Yeah, we've been at this for a year, and we wanted to answer some questions that some folks had about places we've been, what it's like to live in an RV, how long we might do this, and what we've learned so far.
So let's talk about where we went. When we last left off in our first 6-month recap video, we were in Sedona, Arizona, and that was quite a turning point for us since it's where we met a ton of fellow nomad friends. And after spending more than a month in Sedona, we left for Flagstaff and we spent almost a month there, which is a great little college town with a lot of free camping.
After Flagstaff, we drove up through Monument Valley and then back to Fruita, Colorado, which we've spent a lot of time in the past. It really felt great to be back in this spot again. Then we started our Airstream in Grand Junction, drove out to stay with a friend in Denver. We flew back east to visit friends and family for a few weeks, and then we headed back to Denver. When we returned to Colorado, we spent time exploring the state in just our truck and rooftop tent. We got to check out the Front Range, we got to go to Rocky Mountain National Park, we got snowed in Steamboat Springs, we retreated from the snow and headed down and had a fun time with friends in Salida. And we were awed by the beauty of Crested Butte, in which we could have spent more time there.
After a few weeks of exploring the Colorado mountains, we finally got the Airstream out of storage in Grand Junction and headed towards Victor, Idaho, where we were gonna mooch dock in our friend's side yard. There, we hung with a lot of friends, rode tons of awesome trails, and even installed our new composting toilet.
As July came to an end, we had plans to meet up with some friends up in Whistler, BC to do some mountain biking. So we packed up and headed to the Pacific Northwest, a place that we were very excited to visit since we hit the road. And that brings us up to this last month where we've been spending time between Whistler and Bellingham, Washington. And that's actually where we're currently filming this. Now to the questions.
Ooh.
What is your favorite thing about living in an RV?
For me, it's the freedom that we have to put your house in a different location and then to be able to explore that place for however long you want.
That's a good benefit.
It's a moving house, people. It moves.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I've been really appreciating the ability to escape to wetter weather. You know, we're here in Bellingham and yesterday it rained all day and I realized the weather's gonna get like that. You know, even though summers are beautiful here, the weather's gonna get like that. We can retreat to the desert if we need to. In the winter, we can go really far south and be in a warm spot. That's really nice. I've been really appreciating sunshine and dry weather a lot since we've been in the RV.
Least favorite thing about living in an RV?
Probably my least favorite thing is just when you roll into a new town and you're not really sure where you're gonna stay. It's sometimes like a very uncomfortable and vulnerable feeling. There's a certain unsettledness that's very exciting, but at the same time, it could be uncomfortable in certain situations. But what's kind of cool about that is you work through it and you figure it out and then it becomes comfortable.
My least favorite thing about RV life, I don't know, would probably have to be, maybe this is gross, but we don't shower nearly as much as we used to.
Yeah.
I mean, we shower, no, we shower, but they're quick showers, and we definitely don't take as long of showers as we used to, which is good. We're conserving water, but that just means that when we do have access to showers elsewhere, when we're not boondocking, we definitely cherish those long, hot showers. So that'd probably be my least favorite thing right now.
Yeah, we've had a friend refer to them as king showers.
Okay. So. Who said that?
Brett.
Brett, oh. Shout out to Brett and Liz from our Airstream life.
Or our Overland life. We have 2 channels.
2 channels. Check them out.
I know
They're
how
great.
to keep it up. What is your favorite camp spot?
Good one. There's so many, and Jay and I have a really hard time narrowing down one favorite, but we just loved our time in Sedona. It was definitely a place where it's beautiful. It's unlike any other place we've ever been before, and we met a lot of friends there. And the view from our boondocking spot was awesome.
Fantastic views, and we were able to mountain bike right from there. And I also wanted to mention, even though it wasn't a true campsite, when we were mooch docking at our friend's house in Victor, Idaho for a full month, We were right in the middle of the town. We could walk to the local market. We could walk to restaurants.
They had a music fest every Thursday in the summer, so it was cool to just walk to that a few blocks away.
We were with friends,
Yeah,
which was pretty special to be able to experience day-to-day life with them.
Shout out to Ron and Penny.
Yeah, Ron and Penny.
We also drank a lot of tequila while we were at their house.
Way too much tequila. What is your least favorite camp spot?
This is tough because we don't have a whole lot of least favorite or not so favorite. I guess we don't really enjoy when we have in transit days where we're moving from one spot to another and we have to stay in a parking lot. That's never really fun. I guess even recently, this is maybe a week and a half ago, we were headed up to Whistler. We decided to stay closer to Vancouver and kind of break up the drive a little bit and camp outside of Vancouver and check out the bike trails near there. It was definitely our least favorite spot because we were awoken to some fast and furious kids driving their cars really fast and skidding and doing donuts in the parking lot we were in. Till about 1:30 in the morning.
They waited till around 11 to start.
They ramped up.
10:30 or 11 to really kick it off.
And I'm all about having fun. I like it sounded fun, but I was also like, you know what else is fun? Sleep when you're in your 30s, right? Like, am I right? And then we were woken up at 7 a.m. by a security guard who told us and another couple who was sleeping in their van that we would be fined $115 if we didn't move. So we moved, and then we were very tired.
Yeah, that was the worst I felt in a long time.
Yeah.
I think that next day.
That's probably our least favorite spot. All right, so what's our favorite area we've been to?
I mean, we've really been excited to come to the Pacific Northwest since we hit the road. Our very first experience around an Airstream was in the Pacific Northwest, so it was exciting to get up here again. We dreamed of traveling up this way. But we were kind of overwhelmed by the sea-to-sky corridor between Squamish and Pemberton, especially around Whistler. Whistler's kind of weird in itself. It's kind of a mashup of a fake European village and Disneyland. But the area surrounding it is absolutely beautiful. I mean, if you basically listen to any of what we post, we're always like posting about mountain biking, and the mountain biking in Whistler is like the best for many people. Like, it's just so challenging and humbling. We got to spend weeks riding there, and we actually got to meet up with some friends along the way, which was really special to be able to go and experience that terrain with some friends from back home. And we made some new friends through them as well.
Yeah, and the area is just beautiful with the mountains and the water, and there's so many lakes. We went swimming quite a bit actually and took Cooper a bunch.
Cooper loves the lakes.
He loves the lakes.
Yeah, dog loves water.
All right, if you could go back in time, would you pick a different rig?
It's a really good question. We went with the trailer because we can just leave it someplace and do remote trips in our truck, which that's been great. We went with an Airstream because it really holds its value, but there's not really a ton of space in the Airstream. So our friends Ben and Amy, the Roamsteaders, have an RV that has amazing space, has so much storage underneath. We're kind of jealous of that. But then if you flip it on the opposite end, there are times when we're rolling into a town and it's really hard to find a space because we have such a big rig. In those cases, we're like, oh, maybe it'd be nice to have a van. So like, there's all kinds of trade-offs, and maybe we should just do a video about like rigs and whatnot and why we chose to go with an Airstream. But I do think that we're really happy with this thing. I mean, I love this. I love living in this space.
Yeah,
Light, airy.
I don't think I would change anything.
What do you like about the Airstream?
It's silver. Looks like a spaceship.
Does a nice job of reflecting like little lights that you put up.
Although
So
sometimes
shiny.
I will say that the storage is a challenge. But I'll agree with Jay. Especially when you tell people like yes, you live on the road. Oh, you live in a trailer. Oh, what kind of trailer? And then you say an Airstream and people are like, oh, cool. I don't know. I think they've done a good job at kind of making this timeless look that it harkens back to this like vintage era, and I think I really like that about it.
I'm always amazed at the amount of people that say like, oh, an Airstream, they still make those?
Yeah.
What was the most frustrating moment of the last 6 months?
hands down, when Jay and I returned to the Airstream in Grand Junction when it was in storage. Now keep in mind, Grand Junction is very hot in the summer. We also didn't plan to be away from the Airstream for as long as we were. There was some, family emergency type things that came up that we had to go back east and be back home for. And we ended up being away from the Airstream for something like 5 weeks.
Might have been 6.
Might have been almost 6 weeks. And, well, our fridge is powered on propane. And, well, the propane didn't last 6 weeks. And luckily we cleared out most of the fridge, but we were just hoping that we were gonna have enough propane and that everything in the freezer was going to be okay. Let me tell you guys, it was not okay.
No.
We opened it up, it smelled like...
There's liquids!
Oh my god, don't breathe it. Don't breathe it. Well, what it was fish. Frozen peas that were not frozen. They ended up becoming like some kind of goop. And
This is gelatinous, like
it was so
orangish,
bad.
greenish liquid.
It was not good. And then the goo had permeated through some cracks, and it was, let's just say we were worried we were gonna have to rip the entire fridge out and replace it because that's how bad the smell was. It was rotting fish and peas.
Maybe we should do a video about getting nasty scents out of your RV fridge. Or any fridge.
Or any fridge. But we did somehow battle the smell and we cleaned it up really well and we're fine now, so.
Okay, so how much longer will you continue to live in an RV?
So we originally committed to a year on the road, and well, as the title suggests, we've made it a year, although now we're not really sure how much longer we will stay on the road, but what we do know is we want to keep going. So we're going to keep rolling for now and just leave it at that. If you had to stop living on the road right now, how would you feel?
So we got to think about this a lot recently. We really like Bellingham, Washington. We actually went to an open house here to look at a home that was beautiful and perfect in a lot of ways, but totally overpriced. We really didn't want to spend that kind of money on a house, but then we thought about putting the money down on it and then stopping this lifestyle and not being able to travel anymore. And it was like a really sad feeling because we feel like we've just figured this out. Knowing what we know now, there's so much more exploring to do, so many more places to see, so many more bike trails to ride, so many more people to meet, so many more taco shops to eat at. To put a hold on this now would be really depressing. Yeah, and I think it would come with a lot of regret, which is one of the reasons we started this to begin with, is we didn't want to have a feeling of regret.
Or to be in debt.
Or to be in debt. Is living in an RV for everyone?
Hell no. It's not for everyone. And we don't think that everyone watching needs to drop what they're doing, quit their job, sell their house, move into an RV. But what we do hope is that, unless that's your thing, then by all means, do it. But what we do hope to achieve by making these videos and showing you how we live is just this idea of you starting to think about your life and what you want in your life. Do you want to travel more? Do you want to get out of debt? Do you want a different career path? Do you want to spend more time with your kids or your friends? Or, we want to help you find a creative way to get to that path. And that way might not be the traditional path that's laid out. And so that's, my answer for that.
That's a good answer.
Is living an RV life for everyone? No, but living your life, that's for you, man. It's for you. Do we have any general advice for someone that's just hitting the road?
Take your time.
Yeah, take your time.
When you hit the road, it's really exciting. Everything's like fun and new and you want to see as many things as possible. But if you're really in this for the long haul, you're going to burn yourself out moving constantly and trying to solve all these problems that come with moving. So it's best to just take your time, like go to a place you really want to be and spend some time there exploring it, getting comfortable with your rig, maybe do some satellite trips from there and check out some places. But trying to move every 3 or 4 days or less is a really exhausting process. And we've done that before and it just wasn't fun, but it's hard to avoid doing those kind of things when you start. Everything's new and exciting and you want to see as much as possible, but just slow it down a bit, take it in, enjoy.
Yeah, and I would also add that give yourself some grace, give yourself some time, like treat yourself a little bit, you know? Go and take that long shower at the YMCA.
Oh, yeah.
We have friends on the road, Mal and Justin, shout out. They do a refresh day every now and then, which we've kind of taken on that terminology too, where you like go, because we like to boondock so much and stay in free spots. Sometimes it's nice to go to that RV park for a couple days so you can fully plug into all the outlets, take long showers, and just enjoy yourself. So just remember to take breaks too, for yourself.
What was better about the last 6 months versus the first 6 months of being on the road?
The first 6 months were spent, it kind of felt like a vacation, to be honest. We were really trying to figure out nomad life. What happened towards the second half of the year in the last 6 months was we actually kind of started to get into a groove. We started to meet more friends. And it's funny because finding friends on the road actually isn't as hard as you might think. Whereas before in our, previous life, you kind of become friends with people by proximity. You're friends with the people you went to school with. You're friends with people that you go to work with. But what's nice is that we started to meet people on the road, and we already had this common set of values, shared values, that we just wanted to live a different lifestyle. And so that already kind of gets this, you already have this like special bond. And so it was actually easier. There might not be as many, but there are like a lot of people we've met just based on that. So where are we headed next?
Fall is coming, winter is coming. Never again, actually. Winter's coming. But anyway, dark, dank weather of the Pacific Northwest is on its way. We're gonna make our way out of here, head south, check out Oregon for a little bit, maybe head through California, Nevada, but really make our way down to Sedona again for the fall, and maybe further south. We want to check out places like Tucson and
Santa
Fe, check out New Mexico. We really haven't spent any time there yet. So if you have any New Mexico recommendations.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below some of your favorite Southwest destinations. So that concludes our first year on the road recap.
So hopefully that answers some of the questions that you have about what it's like to live on the road full time. And if you still have questions, please ask them in the comments below.
Yeah, and if you liked this video, found it inspiring or helpful, give it a nice little like and click the subscribe button to be subscribed. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.